We've got Ernest on the left and Mike on the right. Ernest is going to be on Grixis Pirates. That's cool. And Mike will be on Red White Good Stuff, which I think is one of the things that he was working on earlier with a bunch of like Lyras and Glorybringers and that sort of thing at the top of the curve at 5. We'll see what Ernest comes to Grixis Pirates. I'm interested to see if he plays Admiral Beckett Brass, who is the Grixis Pirate for 4.
She has a great ability, but it is so hard to trigger.
You have to have lots of other pirates. I'm glad to see Ernest is playing Grixis Pirates because I personally have a little place in my heart for certain pirates. I very much like Siren Stormtamer, as well as Direfleet Captain and Daredevil as well. So yeah, and we'll see how it goes. I know Mike might be one of the ones who added Banefire to his list, because Banefire just seems good in quite a few lists. It's uncounterable if you cast it for more than 5, and that's pretty relevant in the days of control right now. So as a finisher in red, I wouldn't be surprised to see Banefire in this deck as well. So we'll see what happens. I think they're just resolving mulligans here. And just a quick thing, Mike, one of our regulars here, both Ernest and Mike regulars here at Other Realms, but we've loved having Mike around for a lot of our events. He will be headed off a little soon.
That's one of the problems with living around a bunch of military facilities is people rotate in and out of here pretty often. Mike, one of our guys in the military, is actually moving away from here pretty soon. I believe this is the last week, like you were saying.
Right.
So Ernest, though, is going to be here for a while. So he's going to be able to stick around with those pirates. And we wish Mike the best of luck after he moves away. And hopefully he's able to come back here and visit us every now and then. So, like we said earlier, a lot of people come to visit Hawaii. So get your butt back here. And it'd be nice to see people, once they leave, come on back and say hey. So, moving right along, hopefully they're able to settle these opening hands and we'll get the game underway. Red, white, good stuff. Could be a little bit of anything. We'll see. I'm expecting probably going to have a decent curve. So action right from the start. This is round 2 of our Standard Showdown. And round 1 we saw a very interesting red brew from Lance. A very quick dragon deck. Turn 3 5/5 flyers. It was very, very fast.
Yep. So we'll see how Ernest and Mike go here in round 2.
All right. Looks like we just had a fire drill and everything's as it should be.
Yep.
Players are cutting decks and getting underway.
For some reason, I'm really liking those yellow sleeves. They stand out.
They do stand out pretty well.
I think hard
Mike's
to beat a
going
12.
First.
Although Ernest tried.
You got about as close as you can get.
Yeah. Looks like we got, what is this, like USC colors here going on? Alright, so they're going to their opening hands. Ooh, Mike also with the white bordered lands. Love it, love it.
Yeah. Like I said, I do not get tilted at all when I see white bordered lands.
Looks like
double mulligan.
Oh, okay, they're both shipping it.
That's not good. Ernest, if that was a one land hand, I'm proud of you.
You're right.
Very good job.
Especially with three color Grixis. One land is probably not going to be the thing you want to keep.
No, you don't.
Mike is probably a little more secure with a 2-lander on 2 colors, but you really want to see 3 colors if you're a 3-color deck, obviously.
If you're in Grixis, you want...
Yep. At least 2 of them.
At least 2 and stuff you can play in those 2.
Exactly.
You can find your third, but...
Less dead cards, the better.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So mixing them up real good here. Again, we played some 93, 94 recently.
Yeah.
And one of the players had land issues, kept a 1-land hand.
Yeah.
That was off color.
Yeah.
Did not find his colored mana the entire game.
I may have took him off the colored mana a couple times.
He found it, but it left the battlefield.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
So having the key colors of mana is very important.
Yep.
No matter what format you're playing.
Yep. Old format or new format.
So this is Mike's hand. We got 3 lands. Looks like a Benelish Marshal, Cast Out, and
Knight
a
of Grace. She does fine from Mike. He and a 4th land.
Another land on
the
top.
scry. That's perfect. He actually
I might put that one away.
Yeah, but it also just lets him cast the Cast Out as well. So
yeah. So
Ernest
side,
2 lands.
Fanatical Firebrand, Captain Lannery, Rigging Runner,
Couple Rigging
Scoundrel.
Runners, and Grasping Scoundrel. 1/2. Gets +1/+0 when it attacks.
So is he leaving it on top or bottom?
I think he topped it, I believe.
Yep, put it back on top.
Yep.
So there's the
Firebrand with haste coming in for 1. Nothing Mike can do about that, so he just takes the 1.
So Mike currently at 19.
Yeah.
Plays his 2nd land.
Should be Knight of Grace. Yeah.
You know when I always draw my check lands?
When you don't have the thing to check it with?
I draw it as my 4th land.
Right. Or you mean your...
or the fast
lands.
lands. Yeah. Fast lands.
I always draw the fast lands as the 4th land and the check land before the actual land.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Such is life. So
but if you're playing multicolors, you want them.
Yeah.
You want the fixing.
So Ernest doesn't have a really favorable attack here because the Knight of Grace is a 2/2 with First Strike. Notably, if Ernest plays a black permanent, the Knight becomes a 3/2 with First Strike. So he may be deciding whether or not he actually wants to play the Scoundrel. So he does. So his Knight, Mike's Knight, is now a 3/2 with First Strike.
Kind of problematic for Ernest over there.
Yeah, it's not.
That first strike is going to be huge right now.
Yeah, it's really hard to get through for him, and if he can't kill it this turn, it's going to be even harder next turn.
Yeah. Looks like a rigging runner.
Yeah. So that's a 2/2 pirate. So Mike is going to be able to play his Benelish Marshal here, and by doing so, the Knight of Grace is going to be even harder to take care of because now it becomes a 4/3 First Striker. And we'll see if Mike feels like he wants to pound in here, because he can do it and not really fear anything.
The Benelish Marshal is no chump either.
It's a 3/3 on its own.
Yeah.
And will handle all the creatures on Ernest's board. So Mike has to decide whether or not he just wants to get damage in, and it looks like he wants to. I think he can feel pretty okay about this because regardless of what Ernest plays next turn, Mike still has a Cast Out in hand to cover the threat.
Now, Ernest's board, he's got the Rigging Runner did not get a counter because there was no attack, so it's a 1/1.
I don't know if that's a Rigging Runner. I think that's the one that you have to show a pirate. It's a Goblin Guide, but you have to like reveal a pirate or something.
Rigging Runner is a 1/1 unless you attacked.
Yeah, I think
comes
this
in with
is
a counter.
The left one.
And then the Grasping, the black creature at the end is a 1/1 that gets +1/+0 when it attacks.
Right.
And the one in the middle is a 1/1. And
this one, I believe, is Daring Buccaneer. Yeah,
okay.
That's the one. He has to show it's a 2/2 for 1 because he revealed a pirate in his hand.
Okay. Still, none of them match up very well against that Marshal.
Correct. None of them attack favorably, but he's going to do it anyway, and perhaps he has a combat trick or
he does
something
have
to
mana
follow up. Yeah. And actually, it's a pretty good... Even if he has nothing and he's bluffing it here, it's not an awful bluff because Mike doesn't really want to lose the Benelish Marshal.
No, not at all.
But in Ernest's case, he also is not winning a race coming in for 4 or for 5, whereas Micah would be coming in for 7. So both of those things that they have to consider.
Looks like Mike decided to take the damage.
Yeah. And then he'll play a Kite Sail Freebooter to take a look at Mike's hand, which will take care of the Cast Out, actually, which is very strong.
Cast Out Banefire and a Plains.
Yeah.
So if he takes the Banefire, the cast out gets it back. If he takes the cast out, the Banefire can get it back.
Correct.
So one of those situations where either way he can get it back. That would be a waste of a Banefire.
I think I would take. I think that's the
Initially.
correct. I think that's the correct take of the two, because you want to make your opponent use the Banefire so that
Force it out of him.
Yeah, so he can't use it to the face, because
Yep.
either of them both represent killing a creature, but the Banefire has the added bonus of being able to kill you.
There's a Rekindling Phoenix.
Mike plays his
That's
fourth
some good
land.
stuff.
So in this situation, Mike can just jam in here if he wanted to.
Yeah, like you were saying, that's 7 damage if
Yep.
he attacks.
And the Rekindling Phoenix, if he felt like playing that, it
be
will
11.
blocks everything favorably, and not only blocks everything favorably, like won't die even if a combat trick happens.
He'll get the elemental token,
Correct.
and then that just brings back the Phoenix.
Yep. So jamming in here seems like a great idea. Just looks like Mike agrees. He's coming in for 7.
So it's 4 from the Knight, 3 from the Marshal.
Yep.
Ernest does have the Kite Sail, but it's doing a good job with that cast out.
And here comes the Rekindling Phoenix. So this gets really tough for Ernest here, especially because he's stuck on 2 lands. First of all,
he's missed land twice.
But the board is not favorable to him, even in the air.
Well, his creatures are outclassed.
Yep.
Mike has better flyer,
Correct.
so. But the main thing,
I see a
he
lightning
doesn't have
strike.
mana.
Like lightning strike and firebrand will take care of the Phoenix. Oh no, it won't. The Phoenix is a 5/4 right now because of the Banana Marshal. Ooh, this is rough.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure over there.
Like the first thing the first thing Ernest has to take care of is the Banalish Marshal. Wow, this is actually Mike has a very, very strong board right now. So Ernest coming in hoping that Mike might block.
Get a free point of damage in that way.
Yeah. I might have not attacked with the Firebrand though. So like for example, let's say Mike does block here, and then Ernest lightning strikes the Phoenix, by not leaving up the Firebrand. He's not able to take care of the elemental, and then you just wasted 2 spells on nothing, basically. See, like doing this right here, if he lightning strikes
like
it,
a lightning strike, but he doesn't have the free Firebrand to tap.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you can be pretty aggressive with throwing your Phoenix into combat.
Yep. He is playing his Rigging Runner now.
Which is now a 2/2 because he did attack.
Yes, and that's first strike, I believe.
Yep.
So the Rigging Runner and the Deadeye Tracker. The Deadeye Tracker will let him, I believe, explore if he exiles 2 cards from his opponent's graveyard. Yeah, exile 2 cards. On one hand, Ernest has a lot of chump blockers, but he has no way of getting through Mike's board. And he
can only chump the Phoenix 1 turn.
Yeah, and we know Banefire is in hand, so there's like a lot of issues going forward. And Baffling
End, that's another good removal spell.
That'll just take care of the Kite Sail.
Gets back to cast out and opens up the skies.
Yep.
So, Freebooter is gone. He gets a 3/3 dinosaur.
Only if Baffling End leaves the battlefield.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Black Red, not well known for getting rid of enchantments.
Yeah. There's 1 red spell in the new commander deck, but that's about it.
Yep.
Looks like Mike's trying to get in for 5/9 here. That would be lethal. So Ernest has to chump block at the very least the Knight of Grace.
Now, Hexproof from black is not protection from black.
No, it's not. So he
can get
block.
it away.
Yeah.
The first strike, though, is going to mean even a double block isn't enough to kill it.
So he does pick up his 3rd land, but it might be a little too late. There's no way to take care of the flyer in the air.
He can kill the Marshal.
Yeah, but
which would leave the Phoenix still a 4-3.
Yep, and there's no way to... Yeah, so I think Ernest will figure that out here in a second. Looks like Mike has a very solid Boros plan. Knight of Grace is a very, very, very solid 2-drop in white. If your opponent is playing black, which a lot of people are right now, in a variety of flavors, becomes a 3/2, and it also basically, you can't fatal push it, you can't cast it down, you can't Vraska's Contempt it. It dodges a ton of removal. If Mike's mana base isn't too heavy, which it seems like he has a lot more white-centric stuff, Vanillish Marshal is definitely castable, makes it very, very strong.
But if we look at the lands he has 2 basic whites, and the only red is off the lands that also produce white.
Right.
So,
well, I mean,
skewing his land base from what we've seen towards white.
Towards white. So, it looks like Vanillish Marshal is castable.
There's a treasure token.
Yep, and then his 4/5 drops are super strong. So I think if Mike goes first and curves out, he's usually in good shape. The worry is if Mike loses some of those big creatures to something or other. And, you know, in kind of control decks, that's the thing that you want to do is basically make these aggro deck, mid-range decks run out of gas.
Now, looking at life totals, even with just 2 lands, Ernest was able to get a good amount of hits in.
Yeah, they were swinging back and forth.
Yeah.
This wasn't a defensive, control-y battle. Ernest is at 4. Mike also can Banefire for 4, but he decides to just cast out.
Well, yeah.
Or Banefire, sorry.
He's Banefiring.
Banefiring, yeah, for 4. Yep.
But Ernest definitely put up a fight.
Yeah. I think if Ernest curves out, he has a solid chance as well.
Yeah. Not hitting the Lannery Storm on turn 3 hurt him.
Yep.
And then various other things. It all came down to no mana, and Mike was hitting a bunch of good stuff. Which is something you expect in a good stuff deck.
Good stuff is... I like playing good stuff.
Yeah. Makes you feel good.
I had a 4-color good stuff last night at draft. I drafted last night. And, yeah, I had a 4-color Palladium Moors good stuff deck. With Dragon's Horde, no less.
That's a good card.
Yeah. I splashed for that.
Even if you don't have dragons.
Yeah, I splashed for colors that I normally like green.
Green's a decent color.
Green
gets a lot of hate.
Green is alright and limited sometimes, but I don't like playing green constructed decks mainly. Except for elves. I like playing elf decks. But that's like a combo-y green deck.
Sometimes splashes black even.
It does. It did. Well, Deathrite Shaman still existed for sure.
Well, you got Deathrite. You've also got the one where you lose life equal to the number of elves.
They reprinted that in Origins. Yeah. It's not Huntmaster. It's the.
I don't remember what it is.
It's the Enter the Battlefield elf creature. There are some cool elves in Core 19, in fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thorn.
I like Thorn Lieutenant. I think that card is the bee's knees.
Whenever it's targeted, you get a 1/1 elf token.
Yeah, and it's relevant late game. It's a 2/3 as well. A 2/3 is a relevant body.
That's almost hexproof.
Right?
So, 2/3, and you can pop it up to 6/7.
Yeah.
Or more if you have
for 6 mana. And green is pretty good at making mana.
They are.
Last night I had to agonize over my first pick. Let me ask you, Andy. Pack one, pick one.
Right.
Foil Vinemare or Palladium Moors?
Online or physical?
Physical paper.
Palladia.
Okay.
That Foil Vinemare looks good though.
It does look good.
Online, I'm less. I might go for the. I don't know. I think I'm still going Palladium Wars.
Yeah, I went Palladium Wars. Yeah. I had such... It pained me to pass Vinemare. That card is insane.
Yeah, it's a great one. Especially pack one, pick one.
Yeah, I would take it
pack one, build all your enchantments towards it.
Exactly. But Palladium Wars was... I couldn't give up playing an Elder Dragon last night, so...
Yep.
I was... I got a little excited.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. But that card is... This card... I'm on the edge of hot taking this one and saying that it shouldn't have been printed for limited.
I think this is a very reasonable pack one, pick one.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a reasonable card to have in a limited environment. Like, once we had flying turtles and hexproof merfolk,
Right.
flying merfolk who are one with the wind, I think they should have learned that does not make for a great limited.
Hexproof is one of the keywords that
Shroud would have been
they
better.
tested it out and they liked how it was initially, but they're finding that they have issues with it.
Yeah, Shroud would have been better only because then you couldn't enchant it with your own stuff.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, if you guys see this in your limited pools, I, like many others, would recommend you take it.
Strong card.
Very,
Very
good.
strong.
Yep. Looks like they're resolving. They've finished sideboarding here. We're going to get into game 2. Mike was able to curve out really nicely last game. Ernest was a little stuck on lands.
Yeah.
Still, the life totals are pretty close.
It
which
ended,
means
Mike was at 5.
Which means on the ground, they both have a puncher's chance, as it were, either way.
Yep.
And we'll see how this game plays out. Get a good shuffle in. Andy, do you do the pile shuffle whole deal, or are you just
I'm not a pile shuffler.
Neat. I do it occasionally when I'm playing Control, maybe.
About a year ago, they said you're only allowed one pile
one
shuffle
per match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because some people were using it to delay the game, and it's actually a lot of people cheat by doing it.
Yeah, there's
can
different
stack
ways.
your deck.
Yeah.
I'm a riffle shuffler,
Sure.
so I actually like bridging, but obviously it's not
These days, it's a
good
little
for the cards.
It was much more accepted when we were younger.
I didn't even sleeve. I riffle
Yeah.
shuffled every game.
I played on the hard concrete in the back of the
course.
school because why would you play on anything but the concrete?
I
Don't
bought
be
these
silly.
cards to play with,
Yeah,
not to sell.
Don't be silly.
Yeah, yeah. If you look through my collection, 90% of my older cards are
Yeah, that's why
worn.
It blows my mind when I really see like near mint old cards, because I think to myself,
how?
How did you not play the cards? Like I get some cards where you're like cards that are obscure, but ones that like are not.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so
Fanatical Firebrand.
Yep, 3 lands.
Dire Fleet Hoarder,
Yep.
Daring Buccaneer, and a Rigging Runner.
Yep. I'm not sure how a Hoarder reads. But he actually has lands this turn, and he will be able to curve out nicely. Mike here has 4 lands, a Gideon, a Braid, and what is this right here? Glorybringer. Glorybringer, yeah.
So Dire Fleet Hoarder, when it dies, create a treasure token. It's
Okay.
a 2/1 for 2. Not quite a bear.
Not quite a bear.
So Ernest on the play.
Yep. Looks like he's coming with the Firebrand.
Getting right in there for 1 damage. We saw this last game. Mike had a fast line, but opted to go with the
tap line. I think since he has no turn 1 play, playing the tap line turn 1 is totally fine. It saves him the trouble of doing it at any other time. Ernest comes in for 1. I believe he's probably going to play his Rigging Runner to get a 2/2 first striker post combat.
There it is.
It looks like it. I wouldn't be too surprised if that Rigging Runner is short lived, because a Braid exists in Mike's hand, and a 2/2 first striker is pretty good.
Mike wants to be the only one first strike.
Exactly.
There's a Gideon.
That's a second Gideon. Interesting.
Still not playing the fast line.
Yep.
Pull the Braid to the front.
I think he wants to wait till Ernest's turn because he has an instant. I don't think red or black plays very many pump spells that pumps your creature's toughness. So I think Mike is just holding that a Braid to see what happens on this turn.
Dire Fleet Neckbreaker. Attacking pirates get +2, I believe. Yeah, +2/+0.
Yeah. I'm surprised that Ernest didn't play the Daring Buccaneer turn 1 to get a 2/2. But I guess just having the extra damage from the Firebrand is his game plan there. Mike is like, this is going to be too much damage, so we're going to take care of
Braid the 2/2.
The 2/2? Yep.
Still got in for 1.
Yep.
And then post combat, There's the Dire Fleet Captain.
Yep. And then now he plays the Daring Buccaneer. He needs to reveal a pirate, which he does, which is the Hoarder.
So Dire Fleet Captain, when it attacks, the captain gets +1/+1 for each other attacking pirate.
Okay.
And there are 2 other pirates on the board right now, so it will be able to attack as a 4/4 next turn.
I think I saw Mike pick up an Ixalan's Binding, but right now he just needs to stem the bleeding.
I think we're going to see Gideon targeting the captain.
Yeah. Targeting the captain will make it so Gideon will only take 3.
Yeah.
But, yeah. We'll see what Ernest comes up with on the draw here. Plays his 4th land. We know he has a Dire Fleet Hoarder and the other attacking pirates +2/+0.
There's the Neckbreaker.
Yep. This actually should be enough to take care of Gideon. Is it when Neckbreaker attacks, or is it?
Nope, it's just attacking pirates.
Yep. This should be able to take care of Gideon.
Looks like he's divvying up 4 to Gideon, 3 to Mike.
Yep.
That's a pretty big.
That's a pretty big board
offense.
now. Yeah. Mike with another land next turn will be able to Ixalan's Binding.
But which should you take out, the captain or the Neckbreaker?
I think you take out the Neckbreaker first.
You kind of want to get both.
Yeah, so what you do
is
is
the Neckbreaker is
you
a
take
lot more.
Yeah, you bind the Neckbreaker because it's too much. You just need to stay alive, right?
Right.
And then you hope for land number 5 so you can exert Glorybringer the captain, and then you're still taking 3 a turn, right? But like right now Mike has to conserve just life. Right? Like it doesn't even matter. He doesn't get to even have the luxury of figuring out which creatures he wants to take out. He just needs to not die. And reducing basically 6 damage or 7 damage from taking out the Neckbreaker, that represents 7 points of damage.
Right.
And it just buys him time. Even if he doesn't find a land for Glorybringer next turn, being able to play Gideon might be able to, put a speed bump in the way.
Well, if he plays Gideon again, he's got to hit the captain.
Yes, exactly. So the captain this turn is a 4/4 or 4. Sorry,
4/4.
4/4
plus a 2/2 plus a 1/1, so 7 damage.
He got the Hoarder out as well.
So it's 2/1.
Yep. I mean, he might even be able to go wide enough here.
Well, yeah. Even if Mike deals with the captain, that's still 5 damage coming at him, putting him down to 2.
Now, do I see an Abrade there? So having Gideon and Abrade and playing both of those this turn might be able to
take out 2 threats.
Yeah, he might be able to get out of the woods. But playing Glorybringer, I don't think gets him out of the woods. Because, like, for example, so he takes out the captain here, right?
Right.
So he'll still be taking 5 next turn on the ground, and Glorybringer won't be able to block. Whereas if he played Gideon, he would be able to make one thing not do damage, and then Abrade would be able to take out another damage source.
He could have taken out the captain.
Yeah, because right now all he needs to do is stay alive, because his late game is definitely going to win out.
Now he could also Gideon Emblem.
Correct.
And Gideon's Emblem says he can't die as long as he controls Gideon.
Correct, which would add another speed bump.
Right.
But being able to cast 2 spells that turn is much more important than sticking the Glorybringer the one turn, because the next turn you're not going to be able to use the Glorybringer whatsoever.
Right. Looks like Ernest found another Neckbreaker, I believe.
Okay. Oh no, that's the Deadeye Tracker.
Thought he drew a gold card though.
Does he have another card in him?
Nope,
No.
guess not.
Okay.
Okay.
This is going to come in for 5.
And Mike takes it down to 2.
Yep.
That's a pretty wide board.
Picking up another land's not going to help Mike here. The Gideon Emblem might be the only thing that can save
It'll
him.
force Ernest to attack Gideon.
Yeah.
If Ernest has enough to send at Gideon and Mike to put Mike to 0, and then Gideon dies and Mike dies.
So let's say Gideon +1 something, he still dies. So
now it depends on how Ernest
2,
assigns attackers,
2.
though.
Yeah.
Because Mike can hold the Abrade.
0/0.
And if Ernest only sends one creature at Mike, he can buy himself a turn.
So the thing is, Mike has to know that he has to emblem Gideon here.
Yeah, if there's no emblem, Mike's not making
it. Mike dies if he doesn't emblem Gideon here. If he pluses Gideon, he does not win.
No.
So we'll see what happens. So yeah, this is tough. Like when you're navigating a large board, you have to identify what kind of threats are the most important, the most pressing.
Right.
What gets you what you got to play to your outs, as they say. And Mike's outs here, he needs to emblem Gideon, get our braid off on an important target, and then use Glorybringer next turn and get another kill spell to stay alive. But if he doesn't emblem Gideon to begin with, it doesn't happen, sort of thing.
It is not looking good right now for Mike.
Yeah,
this is just how we're seeing it.
Yeah.
There could be a play we're not seeing. Okay, so it looks like he is emblem.
Okay, so he does take the emblem. All right. Also, Ernest could just draw something off the top, which makes this completely moot, but we'll see. Is that a Firebrand?
Fanatical Firebrand. That's an extra creature.
That's just the game right there, because he can just sack both. He can just sack both.
Well, that's not game because of the emblem.
Right, you're right.
He still has to attack Gideon.
So what Ernest has to do is attack Gideon with his 3 creatures that are not the Firebrand.
Yep, and then he can...
And then he'll win. He has to attack with 3. Okay. If all 3 of those attack Gideon, he wins this game, I believe. Because the Abrade can only take one of the two power creatures out, so Gideon takes 3, and then the second Firebrand will let him just pop Gideon twice.
So here's the Abrade.
Okay. So Gideon should still take 3 here.
Right. He did not.
Oh.
So he split them up.
That's still fine.
Yeah, because Firebrands can now...
Yeah.
1 to Gideon, 1 to Mike.
That's still fine. Just kill him, Ernest.
I think he just passed the turn back. I'm hoping he didn't. I saw a hand gesture that looked like it might have been. I don't believe he is. I'm pretty sure he's got this.
Yeah. Well,
come on, Ernest.
All right.
There you
Pop
go.
1.
1 to Gideon.
1 to Gideon. Gideon's dead. There we go. And then you have haste, so just pop him.
Oh, passed it back.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay, yeah. Mike sees it.
Called the haste. And...
Yep.
Good game.
Yeah, that was a great one.
We saw 2 Gideons.
Yeah, Ernest did exactly what his deck is supposed to do. He curved out. He got real wide.
He got the pump effects.
Yep, and he just popped. He got his Anthem effects, and he got the bonuses for being a pirate, which is the best part about any pirate deck, is that you get to be a pirate. Right. Mike had a little bit slower of a start. His stuff.
We didn't see the knight with first strike.
No 2-drop.
We didn't see the pump.
Yeah, his 3-drop was something like Gideon, which which will neutralize one thing, but because Ernest uniquely has Ernest has more than multiple threats that were smaller. Mike couldn't specifically isolate one and make it moot. It looked for a second there he was able to do that until Ernest was able to play the pirate that gave his attacking pirates +2/+0.
The neckbreaker was it broke
it did
some
a lot
necks.
Of work. Yeah. So we're gonna have a game 3 here. I actually think going first in this matchup has got to be important. So I think Mike might have the advantage out the gate here. We saw. They're both aggro decks. In game 1, we saw them just swing out at each other. Forget about defending. The best defense is the best offense sort of strategy. And in that one, Mike came out of the gate swinging first, so he was able to kind of win that race.
Mm-hmm.
In the second match, Ernest was able to start swinging first, and then Mike was on the back foot. So I believe in a kind of a matchup with 2 aggro decks. Whoever blinks first, right? Like that's where you don't want to be on the back foot. You want to be the one pressing the attack if possible. So we'll see. We'll see if they sideboard. I don't know if they sideboard anything in. If I was Mike, I'd try to sideboard in some more low interaction spells. As many low interaction kill spells as I can find.
Yeah, Ernest is hitting from turn 1.
Yeah, so like magma
So you gotta-
sprays.
Right.
You know, like
You gotta start reacting quickly.
yeah, whatever the quickest. Like
So I
even
see a
cast
Baffling
on
End.
like
I see
yeah,
Baffling
is
End.
good.
Um,
Knight of Grace.
Banefire, Knight,
Triple
cast out in
lands.
3 lands.
Yep, that's a perfect.
So he's got a tap land turn 1,
Yep.
fast land.
He has 2 interactive ways to deal with creatures
Yeah.
on the board: a good creature to put in the way, and a way to win the game at the end. So you play this, and you hope you draw into awesome stuff.
Yep.
So we'll see what Ernest has in his hand.
And Mike is on the play.
Ernest is rocking 3 lands,
Daring Buccaneer, Grasping Scoundrel, Fanatical Firebrand, and a Lightning Strike. So he's
Which
got the turn
all of-
1 play.
all of this is what he wants to see. The only thing that would be better is if you could see one of his lords or like the
Right,
anthem
something
guys.
to pump.
I'm interested to see if he plays the Daring Buccaneer turn 1. I'd like to see him play the Daring
To
Buccaneer.
get the 2/2 first strike?
Yeah, it's not a first strike now. That one's just a 2/2, but
Okay.
he has to reveal a pirate. But he's had both in his hand. Turn 1, he's played the Firebrand both times just to get the 1 damage in.
There he goes.
But I think it's just more value to get the 2/2 in the future. We'll see. I mean, the Firebrand is able to pop in fast, which
Right.
is nice.
And it's a point of damage on the board
Correct.
that he doesn't have to pay for again.
Yeah.
So
And also, significantly, if it's still on the board, he can pop anything with a 1-butt
Yep.
that comes down turn 2. So, I mean, both are good plays, but
did you just say a 1-butt?
a 1-butt, yeah.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
That makes me laugh.
I call toughness the butts of creatures. So, like the arcade.
Ben, our judge, loves big butt creatures.
Yeah, like I was going to say, the Arcades wall
Arcade-
decks
yeah.
is
that was actually the commander deck he played.
yeah,
last night.
if I made that deck, I would name it Baby Got Back.
So he made the arcade. That's a very good name.
Right.
He made the arcade deck
Mhm.
with all the walls,
Yeah.
and he was playing our commander list that actually had the award for Baby Got Back.
Oh, okay.
Control the creature with the biggest toughness,
Right.
and one of the other players got the award.
That's hilarious.
That's how last night went for Ben.
Oh, lordy. All right, so Ernest has a second. So he's going to play the Daring Buccaneer, so I think he needs to show the, yeah.
Okay, showed the pirate that he's about to play.
Yes, exactly.
There is a 2/2 first strike, or a 3/2 first strike knight on Mike's side, so no good attacks there.
Yep. The problem here, actually, for Ernest is that Knight of Grace acts as like a really good blocker. I mean, the 2/2. It's a 3/2 first striker right
Matches
now.
up great against everything
Yeah.
on Ernest's side of the board.
So without having to lose tempo and pace over the course of time, he can't attack in favorably.
Even if he had the Neckbreaker, none of his creatures outpower that knight.
Yeah. Looks like he's going to baffle again the 2/2. One thing, Ernest, did we see
That's
Lightning Strike
exiled
in
for
Ernest's hand earlier?
We did.
Okay, so Lightning Strike is the cleanest answer, or that or Magma Spray, Shock, or the cleanest answers to the Knights, because none of them have protection from red.
Yep.
So that's the weakness of having the Knights. If you're playing white or black, I think in this format, I expect to see Knights in your deck.
Right.
If you're playing like a proactive deck, not like a control deck. I could easily see Knights of Grace. Even the Esper control decks switch into a Knight plan for their, like a transition sort of thing.
History of Benalia, also a very good payoff for a
Yep.
knight deck, and very easy to splash in there.
Yeah, and surprising amounts of damage come from 3 or 4 4/3 Knights with
Right.
Vigilance.
So it looks like Mike's taking 2 damage from the attack.
Yep.
And Ernest followed up with another 1/1,
Mm-hmm.
keeping up 2 mana for Lightning Strike.
Interesting here is that Mike is deciding to basically swing out with Ernest. Instead of holding the Knight to maybe build up a board for a later
Right.
game, he's opting to just go to the mat basically with him. He decides he wants to race, and so far he's winning the race.
Yeah.
So-
I believe Mike's at 17,
Oh, okay.
because he should have just taken 2 on that attack.
All right. Well, let's make sure our life totals are right here in a second. Yeah, there we go. So Mike has access to 4 mana. In red and white, this is pretty key because that's cast out mana. In red, that's
Right.
usually Chandra mana.
He's also 1 away from Glorybringer, which
Yeah,
Ernest saw
significant.
in first game.
Yep, and it looks like Mike wants to just continue the pain train here. He's coming in for 3.
Ernest takes it.
Yep. And notable is Mike has his 5th land for Glorybringer next turn, as well as Banefire in hand. So,
so life total is getting lower.
So he sees a future where he's winning the race.
Yeah. In about 3 turns.
Yeah. So Ernest, whatever Ernest plays here, Mike is holding up Cast Out as the biggest. I like that Ernest is attacking. I like that he's attacking right now, and
he's got his lands on tap.
Exactly.
Yep.
I like that he's attacking right now because Mike, if he wants to cast out something to prevent damage, has to choose one of these creatures. And if Ernest plays a creature that is better than one of these other 3 creatures, he's already taken a cast out.
So Mike using a cast out on a 1/1.
I'm very proud of you, Ernest, because this is a evolution from last week. No, really,
where he was tapping out
where he was tapping
pre-combat.
out pre-combat. Yeah. So I think that this is awesome that he this is perfect.
That would have been much better.
See, that's a much better target for cast out. Exactly. And Ernest got around that by getting his attacks in first.
I think he's listening.
Yeah. Hey, this is why I love that we're streaming, especially for our newer players too, is because they can go back and take a look at how the game went out and what went well, what went poorly, and why. And that helps you in your Magic game.
He was able to play his creature, like you said, get around the cast out, and he still has a kill spell in hand.
Yeah. I mean, it's rough because that creature is probably going to die to Glorybringer, but he didn't know that.
No.
Right? Like that.
He had the best play at
all the information. Yeah, with all that information, that's the best play he could make.
No, he put Glorybringer to the back. He's looking at something else. I can't get a good look at the card.
I did not see what he drew. He has Banefire. He has Banefire.
It was a white spell, I believe.
Okay, so he drew something different. So, Mike is also thinking, hey, maybe I should get my attack in first before playing something.
Yeah.
And in this case, it obviously means he's not playing Glorybringer, because Glorybringer has haste, and you would probably want to do that pre-combat.
Yeah.
So we'll see what other interesting card just showed up. Lyra. Okay, yeah.
That's a pretty interesting card.
Pretty good. It's a 5/5 first striker lifelink flying angel that gives all other angels +1/+1. So it is a super good angel in the newest standard sets.
Lifelink is going to be a problem for Ernest.
Yeah, this makes the race no longer a race.
No.
Yeah. And we know that Ernest has a lightning strike in hand. I'm not sure what the other card is.
He used the lightning strike to get rid of the knight.
Oh, he bolted the knight.
Lannery or Mountain.
Okay.
So no way to get around that 5/5 first striker right now.
Yep. And even... Ooh. No fear. Okay.
I don't know about this. He wanted the treasure, I think. And I guess if he's committing to get a treasure, you may as well commit everybody.
The big problem is he's still in this race. Yeah, he's in a racing mode, and the lifelink is going to not only gain Mike 5 life, I think Mike will net life on this.
Yeah.
On this attack.
So Direfleet Captain is a 5/5 right now.
But Lyra has first strike, right?
Right.
Okay, Mike wants to stop.
So he's choosing to block the captain.
Sure.
The Lyra offsets the 5 life loss to the captain.
Yep.
Or he's got 2 captains. And Mike's only going to lose 2 life sets in that attack.
Yep. And he's going to be able to swing back and gain 5 life again next turn.
It's a good thing that Mike killed one of those captains, because a ship with 2 captains
it's
never a good idea.
Not a good idea. And we know we had his Glorybringer this turn, which should allow him to...
Which is going to kill the other captain.
Correct.
But then Ernest is left with no captains on his ship.
Correct.
And that's not a good idea either.
All he's going to have left are trackers and fanatics.
They don't know how to captain a ship.
Not so much. Not so much against a glory-bringing dragon or a dawn-bringing... We have a Glorybringer and a dawn.
Damage.
Yeah, we have a Glorybringer and a Dawnbringer. I just want to point that out. Flavor-wise, Mike has a win there.
Well, flavor-wise, Ernest has a loss because he just lost all the captains for a ship.
Yeah.
I think the ship is sinking.
The ship may be sinking. Lightning strike.
Lightning struck the ship.
See, okay, so... No, that wouldn't have helped either.
No.
Because the lightning strike...
It doesn't take out the Glorybringer. It doesn't take out Lyra.
He can take out the Glorybringer.
He's got the Fanatical Firebird.
Yeah, but he wouldn't be able to take out Lyra.
Lyra is the problem with the life gain.
Yeah. Maybe
he can kill the Glorybringer.
Explore. But... I mean, at this point, I might even just consider exploring. with the Deadeye tracker. Does Mike even
But
have
if he
2
explores,
cards?
he draws a card with no mana to cast it. Well, he's got 6 mana. Costs 2 to explore. Mike only has 1 in his graveyard, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, part of it is... Oh, yeah, he only has 1 in his
He
graveyard.
has to exile 2 cards from Mike's graveyard.
Yeah.
So he'd have to kill something. So he'd have
Is
to
it
kill the
opponent's
Glorybringer.
graveyard or target graveyard?
Opponent's graveyard.
Okay, yeah, then he'd have to... And that's Banefire.
And Banefire for the win.
Just finishes it for 6.
Yeah. Lightning Strike him on the way out.
Just do it.
Do it. Do it. Don't go down without a fight. You're a pirate.
Or at least take out the Glorybringer.
Oh.
Yar.
All right.
Well, that was a good game.
Yep. Well fought.
Mike got to his key cards at 4, 5, and 6 faster than Ernest was able to race him. Lyra changed that race instantly.
We saw game 1. It was a back and forth race, very even. Like you said, Lyra just flipped that race over.
Yeah.
Said, we're done.
Yep. If you're able to stick a thing that has lifelink and first strike, the race it's a